Hey, you don't want to miss tonight's show.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Father's Note, where we promote fatherhood through building men. I am your host, Lionel Nelson, and my co-host is who?
Sharella Nelson.
All right. Yeah, the love of my life. God bless you. God bless you. Yeah.
Good evening.
All right. All right. You ready for this, babe?
I'm ready.
Hey, but listen, before we get into our conversation, what you got? What you want to ask the audience to do? Those are watching.
Well, we would like to invite you all to subscribe. Go over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where you will get and hit that notification bell so you will get notified when we upload new videos. So go ahead and subscribe.
What are they subscribing to?
A Father's Note with Lionel Nelson.
Okay, all right. You got to put that on there right now. Listen, they got it. We don't want to go subscribe anywhere. We got to give them the address where you're going.
Our channel.
All right. Okay, but listen, I want to say this here. Let me make this point right here. That first and foremost, even while you're there, she mentioned, yeah, we want you to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But hey, even if you're watching here on Facebook, we welcome you. If you're watching by YouTube, we welcome you. And listen, this is what we want you to do, though. How about tag somebody right now? Share this broadcast with someone so they know that we're on. And this may be a conversation that may be helpful to you ladies who are really going through some, let's say, some relationship challenges. And here we are tonight. We're definitely here to talk about dating deficiencies. And I want to say this, though, first of all, that in defense of our guest, she does not proclaim to be a relationship guru. Okay, I want to make that clear now, all right?
Right. She happens to be, he calls her our spiritual daughter, which she is, but she's also my work daughter.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful young lady, and I love her.
Yeah, I fell in love with her too because she has a beautiful spirit, and believe it or not, I claim her as one of mine as well. We're going to get to that, but listen, I also want to point out, because I shared this with a friend of mine, and he said, "Man, is this some kind of male bashing show you have?" And I'm like, "Nah, I want to be clear. Listen, let me put this disclaimer out here that this is not a male bashing segment. All right. Here on A Father's Note, we believe in providing an equal platform for both male, female, man, woman, husband, wife, father, mother, and child for the perfecting of fatherhood and the family. Okay, so it can't all be about men, which that is what this show has been built on. But it's not all about men, because guess what? The man could not be effective by himself without the woman.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gonna get into that. But listen, let's go ahead on and let's introduce our guest. How about you do it, sweetie? And let me get rid of this here. Get rid of that. How about introduce our guest, baby?
Well, I would like to introduce to you all my work daughter. Her name is Nikia McCormick. Maybe I should just let her give her own information.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Nikia McCormick. These are my spiritual godparents, and I love them to death.
To life. Exactly.
Hey, I want to also add that if you want to call in, let me put this number up. You can call into the show. I guess she's open to questions, or even if you have a comment or that you would like to share on the show tonight, especially if you get, with something that says strikes a nerve with you, you can definitely call into this number, 954-559-9300. Give that number again. That is 954-559-9300. Hey, listen again. How about go ahead on and invite someone onto the show and let them know that we're here. and we're ready to have a good time and have a good conversation on this. So the first question, though, I would like to ask you, Ms. Nakia, is do you hope to accomplish from this discussion tonight?
Some spiritual guidance on things that I can do myself to help with the dating situation and possibly finding a potential mate. I'm not the only one that struggles with this. It seems to be all of the women in my circle that also have experienced the same issues I'm having.
And it's not just the women in your circle, because I did a mini poll and the questions seem to be identical. The answers, they're identical. So, and we're talking about women that, they're not friends, they're not in relation, but yet they're experiencing the exact same thing. So it sounds like something is going on out there in the atmosphere, and we're here to address it.
But it's interesting that she said spiritual guidance. So that brings me to ask the question: how many women do seek dating a relationship from a spiritual perspective? Or if you do they consider to be the quote unquote, let's say, holier than thou, or what? I'm really striving to understand this thing as well, because I'm gonna say this: I'm in the blind too, and I want an answer. And if we can provide an answer, or let's say set a guideline, set a pathway to meeting good men, then let's see if we can do that tonight. What do you say?
I agree.
Okay. All right. But let me ask you, how often do you date? Because you're not married, of course, right?
Of course not.
You're not married, of course. So you're having this conversation with us from a single perspective. All right. All right. And as you stated, you're 37 years old. Have you been in relationships in the past?
I've been in 2 long-term relationships.
And when you say long-term, what is long-term?
The longest was 5 years.
So what happened with that relationship?
He cheated.
Wow. So,
that was another one.
Wow. So men cheating. Woo. I wonder why.
Funny you asked that. I actually ran into him. Well, he ran into my mother recently and actually followed my mom over to the house. And, he actually apologized that day. He was like, I still don't know to this day why I did it.
Wow. Now that brings me to a question now. And again, as we stated before the show, I don't want to get too personal, but I do want to be transparent. So, wow. Okay. I'm going to ask the question. I mean, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer it. So were you all men sexually active?
We were.
But he still didn't think that was enough.
No.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, how long ago was your last relationship?
Last long-term relationship was 8 years ago.
8 years. 8 years. You got a comment here says that a man cheats because he has internal issues with himself. I agree. I would agree. That's I got to put that comment up. That's a great response. Great comment. Internal. So men.
So wait, before you ask that, so would you say he was experiencing internal issues?
Not that I noticed or recognized. And it was always one of those things where, I would check in periodically. Is there anything I could do better? And I've always been very vocal about my needs, my wants, and then also whoever I'm in a relationship with, their needs and wants as well. And it was always, no, we're good.
How do you all meet?
We actually went to high school together. I never saw him And somehow we ended up friends on Facebook while I was in college in Orlando. And we would stay in contact on there. And when I moved back to Miami, we ended up, going out on a date, and it was like history from there.
Wow. And he showed no signs.
No signs. One of my sister actually was working at the same job as him. And she would come back to me and report like he's super friendly with the female at work. And she would send me pictures of him sitting with the female at the lunch table. Wow. And when I confronted him with it, he said, "No, it's nothing." But that ended up being the person that he was cheating with.
Wow.
Go ahead. Okay. Now I want to point out some things. Okay, so right now, cheating is an issue in relationships. Lying, not being truthful. Let's say it that way. Not being truthful is an issue in relationships. And I'm going to use this word being weak. You can't be a weak man if you want a serious relationship.
Exactly.
Now, I'm sure that might take some explanation, but hey, listen, if y'all have any comments, please share. You got anything you want to say, please share it in the comment. Put it in the comment. We will definitely, I love that selfishness by another viewer. It's interesting. Okay, so we have men. You can't be selfish. All right, can't do that. All right, let's wow. You want to say something?
I sent a question out to 5 young ladies, and cheating was one of the responses. Constantly lying, men saying that they're single when they're really in a relationship with someone else. So you're dating me and you're involved with someone else.
Were in your dating experience, did you experience any of these?
I actually recently experienced that part about, someone clearly still being involved with someone while they're dating me.
So how often do you seek to date? I guess I'm asking that question right.
It's not something I do often. I do work a lot. So, finding someone who is okay with my work schedule, that's kind of hard, as well as, my work schedule. But I did try the online dating. That was an epic fail. It's the same
Talk to us about that. Talk to us about this. What is that like when you talk about online dating?
You find a lot of men that are on these sites and have a whole wife and kids at home, or they are putting on their profiles they're searching for long-term relationships when they're really not. They're just looking for someone to hook up with.
Do you think it's a cult now? Do you think it's a culture thing? And do you think it has to do with either the age or the maturity of men?
I really think, because I've dealt with men that are older and I've dealt with the younger, and it's the same scenario. So you can't even say it's a maturity thing anymore. It's just that man himself.
When you say you
Same
dealt with
things
men,
you're looking for.
when you say you dealt with men older, what's the oldest man you have dated?
In his 50s.
Looking for
so
love.
You're talking about 16 years older than me.
And you got the same result.
Same result.
Did it encountering the same results, has it caused you to look at yourself? Maybe there's something I'm doing, maybe there's something I'm saying that's right, or what could it possibly be?
Most definitely. And that's any dating scenario. Even when friendships, you try to reevaluate, if I'm experiencing the same thing over and over again, is it me?
Self-reflection is great.
We have a comment here that says that people do that in hopes to find someone better. And when they don't, they stay with the person they're with.
Hi, Miss Tracy.
Interesting.
That's true, because they think the grass is greener on the other side.
You know, it makes me reading that comment and just thinking right now, it makes me ask the question, do men really know what they're looking for besides someone that would be sexually involved with, looking beyond the body? Are they really, have they been taught or trained as men as to what to look for from a spiritual perspective? I want to add that in a woman, if they want a good woman, can I say righteous woman?
You can.
Do they really know what to look for beyond just the outward appearance of what they may be attracted to? What do you think?
I'm not really sure on that one, because what I've been hearing from the other ladies is all they want, or the first thing they mention, is about sex. All they can talk about is, oh baby, you fine, you pretty, you this. And dude, what else do you see?
And there's nothing wrong with the pretty. Saying,
right.
Giving someone, a woman, compliments, but I just experienced, I met a guy a few weeks ago, and the first time he called me, it was 2:00 in the morning. I addressed it the next day and I said, hey, why'd you call my phone at 2:00 in the morning? We haven't even gone out on a date or anything like that. Oh, I was just thinking about you. He was like, those are booty call hours, right? I said, yes. He turned around a week later and did the same thing later, 4:00 in the morning. They don't listen.
Yeah, he had other intentions.
Correct.
He had other intentions. Facebook user Watcher says that men have a choice whether they want to be faithful or whether they want to cheat or be a cheater. It's a heart issue. It's good.
I agree with that one.
Yeah, I would say that. Malfunction and dysfunction of men who don't have a clue to their own identity, let alone finding a good. Wow.
Listen.
Wow.
I'm about to jump out the chair.
He's speaking true.
Yes.
Wow. So then what we're talking about then, we talk about men who has, I don't know which one is the correct word, identity issues with who they are. Hey, brothers, y'all got to talk back to me there now. Talk back to us here, because, hey, this conversation is about you. We're talking about women. These women we have women on here that wants to date. They want to date. They're looking for a good man.
And dating with a purpose.
Dating with a purpose. So that comes to my next question I want to ask you. So when you date, do you date for recreation?
No.
Or to establish? Huh?
Not just for recreation. There's a purpose behind it. I want it to be long-term and eventually turn into a marriage.
A marriage. Okay, so you're dating for a purpose. And Correct. That is, you don't do it for recreation. You're serious. When you go on a date, you're serious about why you're going on that date. All right? Correct. Okay. Ms. Griffith says that my sons tell me they want a wife like mommy. Okay, you must be a good woman then. Good mommy then. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you know what, sons? Tell your son they got to be careful now. They can't marry their mama.
That's right.
She can have some qualifications like mama, but you can't marry mama now, because there's some things that listen, there could be 8 things that your future wife does out of 10. And those 10 things your mom does, but your future wife may be only able to accomplish 8 of those things. What are you going to do about those 2 that she don't? That's just life.
Come on.
That's just life.
Wisdom. Come on.
So let me ask you this. When you date, what is generally your expectation from the man or of the man?
Respect, number 1, for sure. Respect and being intentional with what he's doing. If you're telling me you're looking for the same things I'm looking for, then stand by that. And I've experienced a lot of them. They'll tell you what they think you want to hear. And that's really not what's in their heart, or that's not really their true intention.
Wow. Man, listen, we coming up with some good stuff here. We coming up with some good stuff. Okay, I want to play a video, and let me see which one I want to play here. Let me play this one here.
Most men will only experience unconditional love from their mothers, and some of us don't even get that. Most of us have never even felt appreciation or respect without conditions or hidden intentions. We don't know what it sounds like to hear, "I see you, and I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. You really make a difference." Yet the expectation is to constantly be displaying the strength and love that the world is hesitant in conveying. We're expected to have a thick skin but get judged if it turns to a hard shell. The first step in being a man is ignoring the hunger. Because yes, boy, you're going to be starving. Starved of attention, starved of affirmation, starved of love, starved of being told that you are enough. Step 2 in being a man is comfortability with replaceability. You are only as good as you are useful. You are only as valuable as you are needed by others. Should there ever come a day, boy, where you fail to provide everybody with a smiling face, then do not be surprised when they say all men do is take up space.
I know that comment was general because it's obviously that men are looking for things as well. Mm-hmm. Now, he did a comparison. He did mention about men, the only genuine love that men most experience is from their mother. So is he looking for love yourself? Let me ask you this question. Let me ask this question to you. You said you was in a relationship for 5 years, right? What was all the right things that he did, this gentleman did for, let's take away the cheating part. But what was all the right things that he did for that relationship to have sustained for 5 years?
He was a gentleman. He opened doors. He treated me well. His mom was deceased, but you can tell that his dad did a good job after his mom passed away. But I don't have any complaints about him at all.
Other than the fact that he cheated.
Yes, sir.
So what if he come knocking on the door?
We tried. We tried 2 years after we broke up, and he located me and got back in contact with me, and we tried, and I couldn't get over that
the fact that he cheated.
Right. I tried.
All right, now, okay, I'm gonna switch hats here. Why do you say you couldn't get over that? Because listen, I'm not condoning his action.
Of course not.
I'm not condoning his action. He was wrong. Okay,
isn't that a trust issue?
Okay, so that makes sense. So I didn't answer the question,
right, Nakia?
I felt like that was the thing. I felt like I can never trust him again, and I don't know how much work. I don't know how much work I was willing to put in for him to possibly do that to me again. I think that's what it was.
So you broke it off. You ended it.
Yeah, I told him. I said, "This, I can't. It won't."
Okay, so after meeting for 2 years, getting back together after 2 years, how long did that period go before you just said, "No, I can't do this"?
Maybe a good 2 weeks. I could not.
Did he give you any signs that it's a possibility that he might do it again, or there will still be some trust issues, or that's just you?
No, I think it was just me, and I can take responsibility for that. I could not get over it. And for me, it was just the thought of him possibly doing it again.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Boyfriends don't get husband privileges.
Come on. She on a roll tonight.
Oh. A lot of men cheat because of their high sex drive. One of their issues. Let me go with this. Let me ask you this question. Did he talk, were you all talking marriage?
Yes. Within the first 6 months, on our 6-month anniversary, he gave me a promise ring. And he was like, we'll eventually get there and everything. So it was very promising.
When you found out that he cheated,
how long were you all in the relationship?
When he cheated, we were pretty much nearing a little bit over the 5 years. So we may have been running into maybe 3 months into the 6th year.
But when
so
he cheated,
when he cheated, I don't know when it started.
Okay, now, but my question I want to ask to that though, how did you find out? First of all, let's see if we can unwrap this here, because I got a thought in the back of my mind here. How did you find out?
We were actually supposed to go out, and I went to pick him up from, because he would catch the tri-rail all the way to Boca, and we were supposed to go out that night once he got off. And I'm waiting around. His phone is going to voicemail around the time that I'm supposed to pick him up. I'm sitting at the station, phone's still going to voicemail, and I'm like, okay, 2 or 3 trains have come in now. What is the problem? Went by his house, knocked on the door, no one's there. At this point, it had been like maybe 3 months from me starting to hear those things about him with the girl at the job. And I sat at the house, and literally, as I was like, okay, enough is enough, I'm going home. As I'm going out of his apartment complex, the female's car is coming in the complex. So I'm like, maybe it's not them. As soon as I went to make an illegal U-turn to go back in the apartment complex, they did a U-turn and went back out of the apartment complex. So I went home, acted as if nothing was wrong, and I texted him. And so he literally started going off because I was having just general conversation. He started going off saying, don't try me, I know you saw me, all types of stuff, because I guess he realized it was my car. And that's why he had the girl turn around at the complex. So, he ended up coming by my mom's house that same night, and I told him, I'm done. And I promised, I don't think I had ever cried that hard in my life.
Please follow me here, because I'm not attempting to advocate his actions.
Right.
But his response, did he show any remorse for his actions? Because I know you said that he started going off, or let's say, I'm going to say what comes to mind, he began to defend his manhood, okay? He began to defend his actions. But did he ever show any remorse? I know you said he came and apologized, but I'm just trying to see the timeline as to when that did happen.
It was that same night when he came to my mom's house, and I pretty much asked him, like, why would you do this to me? And he was like, I'm sorry, I don't know why I did it, da da da. So he never apologized at that point. It was just kind of like, it happened. Well, what are we gonna do? And I basically told him I was done.
What did he say to you for you, both of you, to want to attempt to try it again? Or was that what
He seemed like he got, when we were together, he went through a lot of transitions with different jobs, and he even went through a period where he was unemployed for an extended amount of time, and I made sure he was still good during that time. And he seemed like he had gotten it together those 2 years later. So I figured, I'm like, maybe he's a different person now. But it seemed like he was still doing some of the same things, still hung around with the same friends that were kind of like bad influences, what I thought. And like I said, I attempted to see if he had changed a little bit, but I saw that he was kind of doing the same things. He had gotten a better job, but still was kind of not fully stable. But like I said, he treated me well the entire relationship. I can never say he didn't.
One of the things that I know for a fact, and I'm going to say this to men, especially to the brothers, whether you married or not married, you have some women out there, if they know you're in, even if they know you're in a relationship, they will try you. They are just that, I'm going to use the word, they are just that conniving to a try, because they want you for themselves. They figure that they are better for you than the woman that you have. Women will try you. They will make little, let me tell you what I do when I sense, because man, brothers, we can't be ignorant about this now.
You have to pay attention to.
We cannot be ignorant, and you know exactly when them women trying to come on to you.
Exactly.
Look, I'm a man. I am a man, and I've been doing this a long time. You know them Q words that they be saying, and they'll come up to you and to rub you on your shoulder and make them little comments and whatever. Oh, you smell so good. You handsome. And you know what? And my comeback line is, I tell Listen, yeah, my wife tell me that every day, every morning before I leave to work. Oh, you smell good. Yeah, that's my wife's fault. I'm going to always mention my wife.
That's how you combat it.
I don't leave the minute. Listen, we cannot be ignorant. And look, you got some women, they will try you. They will absolutely, even if you brush them off, you gotta be, you have to have some integrity. I'm gonna say that. You gotta have some integrity about yourself as a man, and especially if you're in a relationship. My question is this, let me ask you this, because this is how I look at it. And my question is, unless you're a dog, the question is, how would you feel if your girlfriend or your wife, you caught them cheating on you, or you find out that they had a relationship while they going with you, and you spending your money, you investing in them, you thinking long term, but they got another dude on the side? How would you feel about that? Now you be ready to kill, you be upset, angry, mad, and you ready to kill everybody.
Yes.
Even the dog, even the cat. Even the bird. Come on. You be ready to kill everybody because this woman will hurt your feelings. Done cheated on you. I think I done lost some viewers on that. You know them Q words.
It's the truth, though.
You know what it is. And again, you got women that they conniving. They trash themselves. I don't. Okay, I'm going another page. I'm going another show right now. But I'm just keeping it real. I'm gonna keep it real.
Mm-hmm. You have a lot of comments, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This D said, like Joseph, know how to get away from Potiphar's wife. Potiphar's wife. That's the truth. And then my thing is this too. When you're in these situations, listen, one of the things you got to do, don't put yourself in those compromising situations. Especially if you're in a relationship. We have women that they don't care.
You have to set boundaries.
And, and someone has said something about, there was one comment about men having sexual drives. We can't only say only the men, women have sexual drives as well. I'm telling you what I know. Y'all ain't commenting on that.
What you want us to say?
Y'all, when I was coming at the men, y'all smiling and rocking it.
It's true though. It's true. I'm with you when I'm with you.
A lot of women have very low standards. So when a woman requires too much of them, they don't want to put in the work. Oh.
You said a word, Menard.
Yeah. Woo. What's this here? Women's sex drives are actually higher. It's the truth. Look, I know that. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. Let's go ahead on. Let me ask you this then. What was your most memorable moment on a date?
Most memorable. For me, I'm just very simple. So that's why when you meet these guys that do like the simple things, they open the car doors, they open the door of whatever business. It doesn't matter if we're getting out somewhere, you still come into my side of the car or you come into the date with flowers. Those simple things mean so much. But most
That's
men
true.
now, it's pretty much non-existent. Though them doing those things, those little tiny things.
What has been your worst dating experience?
I mean, I've always had good first dates. It's just I think the men with the other intentions, ill intentions, meaning they're only going on this date because
they want
they
sex.
think that they're going to sleep with you.
Hey, ladies, let me know if you are a single woman and you have went out on dates and that's the intent in which that the individual you're dating, that was their mindset. They wanted to have sex. Let us, I mean, if you're not afraid or whatever. Hey, also listen, if you want to call in, you want to comment, you got to call in. Look, I got that here too. You can call in and talk if you don't want to text it. You want to remain anonymous, you can call in and share your experience. 954-559-9300. 954-559-9300. We thank you all. For those of you who are watching, we thank you for your comments and everything. We certainly appreciate that. Let me see.
Let me ask Nakia something. So I've spoken with several young ladies, and this was their response. And I want to know, have you experienced that? Says they are intimidated that you are financially stable and that you maybe make more money than them. You got your own house, your own place, your own car. You're just doing your thing. Have you experienced anything like that?
I wouldn't say I've experienced it because there's no need for you to flaunt that you're stable in your career or whatever the case may be. I find that typically they're intimidated by the strong personality.
So does a woman having these things, possessing these things, give off that sense that they have a strong personality?
I think a lot of times, a lot of men are scared by it, and it's already this stigma behind a strong Black woman. And it's always like we're angry all the time. And it's really not that, because we can be very loving and nurturing. It's, are you doing something and enough of that something to get that part of me?
So you feel that men are afraid of independent women?
They are.
Hey, let me know in the comments if you agree that men are afraid of independent women. I know I have more brothers on here other than just this one or two. I know I got more brothers watching. Come on. Y'all talk to me here. Y'all talk to me, brothers. Let me know whether or not you agree with that comment or not. Let's defend yourselves, brothers. Okay. You can have a strong personality, but you have to know how to tone it. Learned that in marriage counseling. I like this. Mr. Cuff says that.
Daughter.
Mr. Cuff says that only insecure men are afraid of independent women. Whoa. Oh. My husband can't stand my strong person. I grew up with a daddy. Oh my God. What do you mean he can't stand? Listen, let me tell you something. Let me say this. My wife is I don't want to say she is a strong woman, but I'm going to say it because this is what we learned. She is definitely a woman of strength. And brothers, let me help you something. Let me help you out here too. Woo. Why are you intimidated by that? If she has a house, she has a car, she has a good job, she's making good money. Hey, bro, why are you intimidated by that? Even if you don't have the game, man. But look, are you a man? What is the level of your manhood? Because guess what? That's a sign that it don't take much for her. I want to go somewhere here, but my wife had more than I did. But as she said, I had a dream, I had a vision, and I had God. So guess what I did? I took that and I rode on that. I rode on that because I realized, hey, if getting with the right woman, maybe that's another sign that she is the right woman that can help you. If she was able to accomplish that and create that for herself, guess what added asset that can be with you?
Exactly.
So why are you intimidated? Ain't nothing to be intimidated. Either you got your pants on right way or you don't. Because I'm telling you, man, listen. And then you know what? I think that I'm going to say this. I think one of the most important things that a woman like that want, they just want you to respect them.
I agree.
They just want you to respect them. I'm sorry, you all. Right now, someone is at my front door. And
they looking kind of strange.
Yeah, well, they can't come in here. Yeah, anyway, I apologize for that, you all. I wonder if that's somebody for Jones. Well, anyway, okay, let's keep going on. Hey, that could be an asset. At least you're not starting from scratch. Like some people feel. I don't went on. I think I don't went off here. Let me see here. Let me get another comment here. Maybe something in them makes them feel like she won't be able to control and needed by that man. So it must be insecurities. Man, listen, I don't want a woman. I don't want a woman I can't control. I don't want that. I don't need that.
Control? Wait,
huh?
Read that?
I don't want a woman that I can control. I don't want that. No, I don't need that.
Right.
See, my thing is this: you got to be confident about who you are. Period.
Exactly.
Why do you feel that she's a threat to you? Okay, I got to get off here. Hey, y'all, what y'all got to say to that, fellas? What do y'all have to say to that? So let me ask you this: what are you looking for? So when you do date, what are you looking for? What do you look for?
What do I look for?
Yes.
A man that believes in God, a man that's a family man, because I love spending time with my family. I feel like they're very important. I wouldn't be anything without them. And someone who he has to have some type of drive. You don't have to have all this money in the bank, but do you have the drive and the goals to do better? Because you can make less money than I do, but do you have the drive to do more?
It's going back to the vision. He has to have that vision and be able to give you something that you can work with.
Right.
And with your strength, you can help build something together.
Because that's what it's about, building together.
Exactly.
But all these men out here, they think that, oh, I have to have everything, all of these things in line before I commit to somebody long term. Instead of saying, you know what, this woman brings out the best of me. Let us build together. Let me see what I can do with her.
That's my story. That is my story. So so brothers, I'm a living example of you don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have every I dotted and every T crossed. And I think that my wife said it, I hear you say it. There are two things you must have. Now I'm trying to think if there's a biblical reference to it. All you need is God and a vision. God and a vision. And if you have those two things, brother, it's not like she's saying, I guess it's saying it's not about how much money you have in the car. I mean, in the bank, whether or not what type of car you drive. Listen, I was driving a cargo van.
It get around though.
When I met my wife, and that cargo van was that was my work vehicle. I didn't have a nice car, a nice truck, or fancy up-to-date vehicle when I met my wife. I just didn't have it. I wasn't rolling in dough like I wish I was, but I wasn't. So brothers, just the word that comes to mind, just be authentic with who you are and be real about it.
Yep, be real. Be
real, be sincere. One of the things that my wife and I was talking about, we got to get off. We got to go. It's time to wrap this up. And when we did a marriage counseling, one of the things that I showed that God has showed me is that when we go on these dates, especially for the first time, we paint this self-portrait of ourselves as if we got it all together. Mm-hmm. So then when we're dating, okay, then we want to give this facade that, hey, yeah, I'm here. I'm A+ on this. I'm A+ on that. I'm A+ on that. I'm A+ on that. And I might be a B+ here.
Right.
When actually, when you know good and well, you're a C-, C-, C-,
and
a D, and you're F.
Come on.
So why would you tell the truth?
And almost every young lady that I sent the message to said honesty. There's no honesty, no consistency with that. Tell the truth. They're all lying.
So brothers, be real. Be real. Just be straight up. Let me tell you, let me say this here. Okay, so with my wife and I, I'm gonna give you this one story, this testimony. My wife and I, when we were dating, when we got together, we were dating. I was self-employed. And the reason I was self-employed because I had children. So getting on somebody's 9-to-5 job just didn't work for me because I had young children at the time that had to take to school, had to pick up from school, especially when they was in different schools, had to go to this one, pick this one up and go to that one. So I was working self-employed for myself so that I can be there for my children. But when we got together and after a period of time, I asked her, I said, well, listen, do you think I should continue this? Or do you want me to go and seek employment? She said, I think you should go seek employment. The next day, I went and got a job. The next day. And I still had my side hustle. I didn't stop doing that. But the next day, because that's what she saw and that's what she wanted me to do, I was okay with that. And I went that route. And hey, look where I'm at today. Man, let me tell you something. Give me some sugar. I'm telling you, man. I ain't shit. It's my Eve right here. Yeah, I done got lost here. Let me see. It's coming here. Mr. Lewis says that my all-time saying is communication is expensive if you can't afford to have one. The hardest thing is not getting his woman, but in a special request because we're often ready to make her happy. Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. Hey, you got anything? Let me. Okay, so speaking for most women, let me ask this question. Speaking for most women, what advice would you give to the band as to what a woman is looking for when they go on a date?
Be your authentic self, like you guys keep saying. Be honest from the jump, because there's no telling what she's willing to deal with if you're honest. And always have that open line of communication. And that's where, we fall short. And it's on both ends with the
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this though: shouldn't a woman be honest as well?
Absolutely.
Of course. Of course.
Absolutely.
It can't work if both parties aren't honest. Can't meet halfway if you don't, you're both not saying what you need and want.
I'm gonna play this last video and then we'll comment on it. And then let's see what we got. Then we get out of here.
Something people are not ready to hear.
Okay, I'll say it. Men are mistreated in this country. Men are very mistreated in this country. Think about it. They're taught to be ashamed of their nature, their masculine nature. They are, if they call too much, they're needy. If they don't call enough, then they're an asshole. If they dare open a door for a woman or offer to lift a heavy box, they're sexist. If they compliment a woman, they're a pig. If they don't compliment a woman, then they're judgmental. If they get struck by a woman, they're unable to defend themselves. If a woman claims rape, she's automatically believed and she can ruin his life and there's nothing he can say about it. If a woman accidentally or on purpose or whatever gets pregnant and he doesn't want the child, he's still financially obligated to them and money gouged for 18 years every month. I do not believe the child support system is fair. I could make a part 2 of this. Seriously, men are very mistreated in this country. You guys want a part 2?
So are men, because of what she said, are men dating with fear? Are they afraid to commit because of what the stigmatization that has been placed on them or the experiences, past experiences that they have had in the past? What do you think? Hey, listen, we got to go. We got to go. Because I don't like this guy hanging around my front door right now. I do apologize to end this, but real quickly, you want to respond to that?
I mean, I agree with some of her points, and I see why a lot of men are fearful with the whole dating scenario. But it's just like anything in life. Just because it knocked you down once, you're gonna live your whole life in fear, thinking that every experience is going to be the same. We will all be stuck in one place if we function that way.
That's good.
That is good.
I'm going to end with this comment here because I think this says it all. We can't give the soft brothers excuses. Absolutely. Because a lot of those things that she said, I experienced a lot of those things, but it did not stop me from being the man that I am.
Exactly.
I didn't use those as excuses. I just had to keep going and pressing through. I didn't use them as excuses. And I know a couple of brothers on here. I'm not the only one. I am not the only man or husband, father, who have not encountered a lot of the things in which that she said, okay? But yet still, that did not stop me from fulfilling what I knew was best for me as a man. Just that simple. Hey, listen, we got to go. Okay, you know what? Come on, try calling in again. Go ahead, call in again. Call in again. Go ahead, caller. Try again. I did miss your call there. I do apologize for that. And then we're going to get out of it. We have extended our time. But it's okay. It's okay. Okay, we got the caller here. Let me see here. Hey, caller, go ahead on with your question or comment or... hold on a second. Why aren't you coming through here? Oh, hold on, caller. Hold on. Let me get you here. I do apologize. I thought that we were ready to go on that. Just a minute. Just hold on, caller. Okay, go ahead, caller.
Yes. What I want to say is that I had dated a particular guy, and what I've used as my, as you might say, guidelines, the things that I've learned from our church. I use that in leadership, the character mark. Mm-hmm. And I put that up front. And I let it be, no, look, I'm not looking for all the, material things that you might have. I want to see what's inside.
That's
I'm
good.
looking for character. And
wow.
I let it be known about that. And to the point that, after explaining some of these characters, and was like, look, they were honest. And say like, I cannot promise you that. I said,
whoa,
okay.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like, I said, okay, then let's just, see what happens, But sure enough, it got to that point where he, repeated it again. I know what you want, but I'm not that type of person. So, okay, that was that. No compromise, no, anything like that. No crossing the line, no,
Right.
And because a lot of the teaching, the teaching that we get, if we incorporate into our lives, okay?
Right.
When you had that teaching on the toe line, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You don't go. You don't cross that line. All right?
Right.
And I made it known, look, I'm setting boundaries. And this is what it looks like. So, and they were like, financial stable,
Mm-hmm.
houses, cars, and all that. But I'm not looking for that. Because when it's all said and done, I know my value and I know my worth.
Right.
And I know who I represent.
Right.
And I am more fearful of who I represent than I am of what you think you want. Sometimes I could come off a little broad, but, but they said, be open, be honest. And I just laid it on the table. So
Right.
be like, what did you think? What were you hoping for?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping for a man that is godly, integrity, and has these qualities that I know that are his foundation,
Mm-hmm.
or willing to change to incorporate it part of the foundation.
Right.
So I hear everything that was said on tonight, and but I think as women, we can be open and real and tell them what you're expecting, hoping for, and by no means don't compromise. If they can't deal with it, you have to be able to live with yourself. You have to be able to continue in where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, I look if I'm about to make a wrong decision, don't let me make a wrong decision. Tell me no. Don't be afraid to tell me no.
Right.
That's not right. That's not, So, and then my men, no, they ain't going to say no. Somebody better say no. Anyway, I'm just basically saying I use our leadership guideline as my guideline
Right.
when it comes to relationships.
So technically what you're saying that if you're going to go on a date, be straight up what your expectations is of that date. Right out the gate. That way you got to waste time. You won't waste any time.
No, right. And it's like I said, if they want to hang in there to learn a thing or two or whatever, I learn a thing or two, fine. But understand, I said this from the beginning, this is what I'm looking for.
Wow.
And I just lay it straight out.
That would be a great conversational piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it has, that's what I use. I'm just saying that's what I use.
Right.
And,
okay.
And set my boundaries.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for the call, caller. Thank you. All right. I thought that was a good point. I think it was a good point. Hey, we have extended our time here on the show tonight. Hey, but just to quick highlight, men, stop cheating. Stop cheating. You're losing good women because you're cheating.
And be real.
Be real. Yes. Don't be selfish. Have respect. Be intentional. Be a family man. Be God-fearing. Have a vision. Did I leave anything out? Have some integrity. What you got on over here on your notes? Did I cover everything?
You did.
Hey, we got to get out of here. Hey, thank you, Miss McCormick. Appreciate you for coming on. Also, to all of our viewers and watchers and those of you, thank you so much for your comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. Hey, you know what?
Thank you.
We love you here at A Father's Note, and we thank you. Hey, we'll see you. Be back next week. God bless you all.
Love y'all.